Hey guys, this is the second time I've recorded this. It was actually an unboxing, or in this case, on opening of an incredibly flimsy envelope. So I'll show you what I got. Wasn't much, it's two comics. Um, Captain Glory, Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, and written by Roy Thomas. It's an awesome little issue. Get rid of the adverts there. Some little idiot outside the house making noise. Show you a page from it. Steve Ditko art. Reason this is exciting for me, it's not because it's not a freaking key book or anything, but it is my first Ditko book since back collecting. I used to have quite a few Steve Ditko comics, Mr. A and all that type of stuff, but all that went when comics weren't worth anything, so it's the first one back. Will be the first of many, hopefully. Second, came in the shittiest bag I've ever seen. But I rebag most stuff anyway, so can't really complain. It's 94, 432 even, sorry. It's 350th appearance at 94, it's giant sized. Had it as a kid. I used to be really big into 4 comics. Well, basically everything I got was a Marvel comic when I was a kid, so I'm trying to get stuff I used to have back. Outside of that, I was not going to fall there. Outside of that, in news, podcast's going well. Well, apart from this week where I seem to have unfortunately not gotten a guest. Reason being, the guest had to pull out for what I would call very legit reasons. Another person I was actually talking to being on the podcast this week was Patrick McKay, who was in the Avengers TV show, who passed away, so that's obviously incredibly good reasons not to be on a podcast, not to make light of the situation. So there's a possibility this week's might be a Q&A with me answering, obviously. So any questions you have about anything, like you want to know anything about, I don't know, me, Scotland, my thoughts on the FIFA situation, anything you want, anything remotely, put them in. Any question will get answered. If I somehow get a replacement, the Q&A one will go out midweek next week as a bonus episode. So that would be not tomorrow's. What am I talking about? This is Monday. No, this Saturday's. It would be. Yeah, this Saturday's it would be. So if I don't have one for this Saturday, it'll be a Q&A. I'm sleep deprived, can't help it, I'm talking gibberish. There's a possibility that there might be a couple of people coming on. A couple of Scottish comedians might be available for it. It's the Edinburgh Fringe, which, if you don't know, is a big kind of drama and comedy festival at this time of year. You get like street performers, like jugglers and magicians and stuff in the street. You get a lot of really cool stand-up comedians come, put shows on. It's where you basically, it means a lot if you win the award for best comedy show and that. So there's probably going to be in July and through August a lot of comedians and people like that are up for the Fringe that will be coming on my show, which is sort of good for my show. So it'll be good. Not this Saturday obviously, but the Saturday after I'll have Pat Mills, the creator of 2000 AD, well, co-creator as you know, on. Pat's a really cool guy, so that's going to be a really cool interview. We'll talk about that, we'll talk about a lot of stuff. I think the week after Yeah, the week after I have if you're a pro wrestling fan, a guy from Impact Wrestling called Gunner is coming on. He used to be in Impact Wrestling. He's just left. Um, like quite a few people have recently. Um, so he'll talk about his career, his time in the military, stuff like that. So that should be quite cool. Um, there's a couple of others I can't really mention because it's not 100% set in stone that they're coming on. That are quite, well named people. I actually have someone lined up, but it's for next year. That shows you how far in advance you have to book these appointments with some people. Um, which obviously can't mention because that could fall through at any minute. Uh, there's been a couple recently that I was in talks with the agent for Christopher Lee, and there was the possibility that a couple other people that could have been coming on that have passed away. So, um, as I said, from the Avengers as well. So there's been that, which obviously hinders a bit. But I've got people lined up. It's just there's certain weeks in between that I need to find people for. So anyway, I'll get back to it. Yeah, my novel is 3 weeks maybe away from being finished. So first draft, and so August time I might be looking for some beta readers to have a read of it and tell me what they think. Tell me if it's coherent. It would help probably if the person doing it, well, the people doing it, so I want about 8 or 9 doing it, if they're fans of horror. Um, because if you're not a fan of horror, you might find the book a bit of a struggle to read it. It's quite gory in detail at times, so cause I don't like making violence fun and that type of thing. Violence is violence. It's not a pleasant situation. So anyway, that's coming up. That this that novel will be published some point this year, probably September, October, Novemberish time. Um, so that's pretty cool. What else? Oh, Comic Con's this weekend for me in Glasgow. That's why I haven't been buying a lot of comics in the last couple of months. Been saving for Comic Con. Uh, so that should be good. I'll be doing a video probably of everything I get at Comic Con, and I'll do one. I'll be taking photos at Comic Con and stuff, so I'll probably do a video where it's like a montage of all the photos and that type of stuff. Um, I'll probably be looking to get photos taken with some of my mates. They've got a couple of people I know have tables there and stuff. They'll be signing their comics and that, so that'll be quite cool. Other than that, there's not much, so I will sign out here because I have babbled the majority of this. I just want to say thanks to everyone who's liked and subscribed to my podcast. There was an episode a couple of weeks ago which in less than 3 days did over 1,000 downloads, which is pretty impressive from a podcast that's only getting publicised through social media. And I'm not a celebrity or anything, so I don't have name value to sell it, so that's pretty cool. So thanks to everyone who's downloaded and subscribed to it. That's awesome. Over at the Facebook page, there's a lot of details on stuff that'll be coming up. There's links to the blogger page where you can also hear the stuff. Um, Things like that. I'm probably on my blogger page. I'm going to start doing more in-depth posts that'll be maybe talk about the actual interview and everything. I'm going to do one that's about setting up a podcast in the near future. There'll be a couple of posts about that. Things like how you can do it cheaply. I've done mine for practically nothing, so might not be the most successful podcast in the world, but I've done mine for you know I've spent less than 20 quid on mine so far. You know, I had the mic already, obviously you'd have to buy it. I had the editing software already, so you'd have to buy it. But outside the mic, you could go without using the mic, just use the mic in your monitor. It might not sound great, but it depends what you're doing it for. If you're just a bunch of mates hanging about recording yourself for a laugh, it doesn't matter. So I'll be doing a post on that. I'll be talking to some interesting people coming up, and I'll probably be doing a couple of videos here on my book coming up as well. So it'll be getting spread out a bit. My time's kind of spread out between a lot of different stuff. So I'll finish this here, and I'll just say thanks again for downloading the podcast. It means a lot, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.